Hello, this is Michael Millard for Realtime Rendering Assignment 4, which is entitled mipmaps. So to begin, I have a pretty basic scene. I have 5 models rotating, which I will alternate between a house, a cylinder, and a square. And I have a floor model, which at the moment is flat, but it also has a variant for a slope. So to begin, I'm going to hide the models for my demonstration, and I'm going to stop the rotation. I've also added a texture scale, which will help exaggerate some of the sampling effects, and you can see the more patterns going on a bit more exaggerated if I really crank the UV scale to the maximum. So to begin, I have got the max anisotropy level set to 2, the lowest. I've got it, as you can turn it all the way up to 16, but I'll focus on that a bit later. So the current minification method I have is just set to nearest. In other words, there's no mip mapping going on at the moment. It is just set to GL nearest, and it is looking for the nearest texel in the texture provided, and it's not going to go to a lower level texture as I move further and further back. So this is the worst performing one, and you'll see lots of these visual artifacts and really bad sampling going on towards the further regions of the model. This can be improved slightly if I go to nearest. So now it'll do bilinear interpolation between the 4 nearest texels in each of these regions. And this will gradually improve as I go through into the mip mapping model. So now nearest, choosing the nearest mip map level and the nearest texel within that mip map level. Already that is a slight improvement over the GL linear approach, followed by GL nearest linear. So now it's going to be linearly interpolating between the 4 nearest texels in the nearest mip map, and then followed by linear nearest, and finally the best performing trilinear interpolation, where it will find the 2 nearest ones and perform linear interpolation between both the mipmap levels and the texels within those mipmap levels. So this is by far the best performing mipmap level, and if I go really low down, you can see that if I just quickly go back between them, the quality will slowly deteriorate as the approach gets worse and worse. So all of these can be improved if I increase the anisotropy level. So right now I've got it set to the lowest, which is 2, but if I go to 4, it improves up to 8, and to the maximum at 16. So linear, and an anisotropy filtering of 16 is probably the best performing by quite some margin. It's probably the most likely performance you'd see in AAA games. And as you can see, even if I move further away, it is by far the best performing of the furthest pixels on this flat surface. If I change the sloped model, I do feel that demonstrating the flat surface exaggerates the Moore effect a bit better. The slope, in a way, kind of helps the texture here, I feel. If I change to the worst performing, you don't actually see too drastic of a change. There, if I turn the anisotropy back down, you will see one. But if I change to flat and I rather crank the texture scale, you'll really see the wavy sampling effects taking place, and this really is a poor performance. So to end off, I'm just going to bring my models back, and I'm going to rather hide the floor. I'm going to rotate them and separate them a bit further. And what I hope to show here is that as the models get further and further away, you can see the close-up model is very clear, whereas as the ones further away get worse and worse in image quality, which can be improved again by choosing a better minification method and using mipmaps. So turning up anisotropy again will give it the best performing results, whereas if I turn that all the way back down and go to not using mipmaps, maybe just go to the nearest GL nearest, you can see the quality deteriorates rather quickly. Even the second closest one is looking rather poor. Yeah, thank you very much. That is my demonstration.